Welcome back to another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly. That means me, West Coast Rob. How are y'all doing out there? I hope y'all are doing well, because the homie's doing well. It's been a long time since the homie's done it by himself. I hope you enjoyed the last episode. We came back with a vengeance last week. Episode 50, 3-year anniversary. You know what I'm saying? And on that episode, special episode, because it was an episode of many firsts. Like I say in the episode, first in-house guest, first time having my daughters on. Great episode, man. Check it out if you haven't already. If you already have, then you already know I already got love for y'all for that shit. I appreciate y'all so much. Those who been asking about the pod, if I'm still doing it, if I'm coming out with new episodes, whoop-de-whoop, all that. Y'all, cheers, salute. I appreciate y'all so much. Now we're back with episode 51. Oh, man. We would have been, if we hadn't taken the time off during the year, then we would have been on like episode 70-something, I think. I don't know. We would have been on more than 51, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go with the flow. And we're on episode 51 right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure, first and foremost, if y'all haven't already, follow the podcast page on Instagram at YeahDat Podcast, on IG, and on TikTok. Show the support. Reels, shorts, all that stuff get posted on there. More so, the podcast, I would say more so on IG. But I'm doing it more on the TikTok as well. I got a personal thing, my personal page on the TikTok. Follow me on there, West Coast Rob. You know what I mean? Make sure you support, and whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, whether it's Spotify, Apple, make sure you rate the podcast. That means scroll down or go back to the main page, the main podcast page, scroll to the bottom, and click that 5-star down there. And I'm referring to Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Rate the podcast, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It helps the homie get bumped up on them charts. So when people are scrolling through podcasts, you know what I'm saying? The homie can be in the top 50, the top 25. You know what I'm saying? Hook the homie up. Rate the podcast. Leave some comments too, because it's all about analytics and all about traffic. So if you're leaving comments and you're rating it, etc., then they're going to be like, oh, shoot, people are fucking with it. So make sure you do that. I appreciate y'all for the support and everything. As always, love y'all. Appreciate it. So episode 51. Man, oh, how I've missed doing this. There's been plenty of time. So the last pod episode I did prior to last week's episode 50 was was back in March. I was in Bradenton. My daughter had traveled to Florida to play at IMG for some soccer. She had just come back. No, April. Yeah. So that was, we were down there. She was playing in Florida at IMG Academy. And then a little after that, she left for Spain to leave and go play in Spain. And so much has happened since that, man. Since that podcast episode. So much has happened with me in my life is what I'm referring to. So with episode 51, we're just going to play catch up. And, you know what I mean? Get reacclimated for those of you who have been avid followers and supporters. I'm just going to catch y'all up, get y'all up to speed on what's been going on with me from April. Shout out Aries. April up until episode 50. So much shit has gone on. All right. So for those of you out there, I was TAD. TAD, for those who aren't in the military, you know, the verbiage, the phrases. That means I was temporarily assigned to a different command, a different place of work. So I was TAD to a ship. I had been TAD since September of last year, and I did a year on that mug. So while being TAD, we were helping them get up and um get up and not and active, I guess you can say. So we were doing a lot of out to sea trials and all that, whatever. You know what I mean? So the homie was out to sea quite a bit this year. And I was originally, after the March trip, I was supposed to go with Killer Cam to Spain. She went to Barcelona. No, excuse me. She went to Madrid and she went to Valencia to play Spain for the state Olympic development team. And I was going to go along with her because, my daughter going out of the country for the first time. Of course, I wanted to be with her. You know what I'm saying? We got our passports done. The whole nine was ready to go. But it was supposed to be like a little entourage going to Spain. So she was going with her team. And then, excuse me, while she's with the team, it's professional type shit. So they had like the locker rooms with their jerseys hanging up with their numbers, with their pictures and everything dressed out every game they had. And then they're traveling with the team. So there wasn't really much interaction you can do with them while they were over there. However, I found out that you could. So they were allowing it. So I was like, all right, cool. So me, my sister, shout out Vanessa, and my brother-in-law, shout out Steven, and we were all gonna go. We were all down, planned it, everything. So while we were in Florida for the trip, my brother-in-law, he had some unfortunate stuff happen to him. So he has some shunts in his skull. So one of them was malfunctioning. So he didn't get to see Killer Cam play in person while in Florida because he had to go to the hospital in the emergency room, and he was laid up for about 2 weeks, I think. Can't recall. I forgot all about that till just now. But he was laid up in the hospital, redoing all that stuff. It's he has a shunt that goes from his brain, which a shunt, if you don't know what it is, it drains fluid from wherever. So he has it in his skull. So it drains fluid from his brain and it goes down through his heart or something like that, down into some lower part of his body. But he had to get all that stuff redone, and he was laid up and had to have brain surgeries and all that stuff. So he was out, which understood he's not going. All right. So my sister was considering. She's like, dang, I know I told Cam, but I was going, but with all this stuff going on with Steven, I'm not sure. In my head, I'm just like, stay, like, don't even go. But she's like, no, I wanted to go because, my mother-in-law is going to be here with him, but, and I want to be there to support her. Whoop, whoop. And I'm just like, nah, you got to stay. I mean, that's your husband. So you got to stay, make sure he's straight, show support or whatever, take care of him. Even though your mother-in-law is here, you still got to stay. So my sister ended up staying, and that just left me solo dolo, which I would have been fine. But the fact that at the time, I didn't think I was going to be able to interact with Cam as much as the parents were allowed to. So I was thinking like, damn, I'm going to be going to Spain, somewhere I've never been, by myself, roaming by myself, living by myself, trying to figure it out where I'm going by myself, sightseeing by myself. I'm like, that's going to be whack. I know a lot of people do it, and hats off to y'all. Kudos to y'all out there who travel on your own without friends and family. My homie Ram, he does that shit. He's a fucking nomad. I'm going to have him on here to talk about some of that shit, but I can't do that shit. I can't even go to the movies by myself. What makes you think I'm going to go to a foreign country and just roam around by myself with a language barrier, which I'm straight with Spanish, you know what I'm saying? But it's proper Spanish in Spain. It's not that Cali Spanish, you know what I mean? Or that American Spanish, you know what I'm saying? That American Spanish, that just sounds oxymoron. But it's not the Spanish we're accustomed to over here. It's proper Spanish. I've been to Spain before. I've been to Barcelona, but I was with homies. You know what I mean? And it's different. and one of my homies was Puerto Rican, so he was my bridge. But since then, I've gotten better, but just me being in a foreign country in a city I've never been before with no one, just me, I was like, damn, I can't go. I can't go to Spain. So then it's like, damn, my kid's going to Spain. I want her to have some kind of family there just in case. You know what I mean? Just to have that sense of security, so she can see familiar faces at home, or not at home, while she's playing in the games. But it didn't get to happen. But she was fine, had a good time. The thing, she did something that just annoyed me. I told her we were messaging her because, they're like 6 hours ahead. So their daytime was like hour early, whatever. So when she was waking up, we were kind of still asleep. But every day I actually wasn't telling her because I was out to sea on that ship. I was out to sea. So I didn't get to go to Spain. So instead, I got to go out to sea for a month. Yeah. Big filler or whatever. But yeah, so I'm out to sea. So the whole time I'm messaging her mom and telling her mom to tell her, because they're texting. I was like, hey, tell Cam to take pictures of herself in Spain, because you're gonna get older and you're gonna just be talking about, oh yeah, I've been to Spain, da da da, and you aren't gonna have any pictures to show for it. Like when I went to Barcelona, I had pictures with backdrops and all that. So every day, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm going to. Like, make sure you just tell one of your teammates, like, hey, can you take a picture of me? Woo woo. But my kid, being shy, did not do such thing. So she took pictures, but she took pictures of buildings and scenery, and she's in none of them. It's just a picture of, oh yeah, look at this building, look at this cityscape, look at this view. And we're just like, Cam, you took no pictures of yourself. There are no pictures of you. So, I don't know. Teenagers, you can't tell them nothing. For all my parents out there who have teenagers or preteens or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are parents who have little ones, oh, it's coming. Them fools don't listen. So, yeah. So I spent that month, birthday month, Aries season, out to sea instead of in Spain, because the original plan was to celebrate my birthday in Spain with my sister, my brother-in-law, and my daughter being in the same vicinity. But it didn't happen. Instead, I spent it out to sea. It is what it is. But so that was the springtime. That was my springtime. So, I was in and out constantly, a month here, a month there, weeks here, weeks there, back and forth, in and out to sea. I was actually going to do a podcast from inside the shop that I worked at, which I regret not doing because some of the shit we talked about in there is podcast worthy. So I told myself, I was like, yo, next underway, I'm going to bring my shit and we're going to do a fucking podcast episode. And I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I didn't want to just deal with the whole setup and all that shit, but I should have, because every night after we got off, we played spades, playing music, talking shit. You know what I mean? Typical shit for all my military folk. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the typical shit. And it would have been some entertaining fucking content, and I slipped. But it is what it is. So in May, in May or June, Memorial Weekend is in May. So in May, is it? Yeah, it's in May, at the end of May. So we hit New York City for Fleet Week, which if you're unfamiliar with what Fleet Week is, it's exactly what it sounds. It's a week where military comes into town from all the different countries. They come into New York City, and it's it's kind of paying tribute and homage to military members for what they do, and they're all over TV, from Good Morning America, Today's Show, every events, it's just all it's a big thing over New York City. So we were in New York City for a week. It was a great time. I've been to Fleet Weeks before. I've been to a Fleet Week before, but this was decades ago, 2 decades ago. That sounds crazy. And so being back uh, to a recent one, it was cool. Went to a Yankees game. You know what I mean? Last time I was there, I went to a Yankees game. I went to a Yankees Red Sox game at the old Yankee Stadium. For all my baseball and sports fans out there, yeah, the old Yankee Stadium. So I got to go to the new Yankee Stadium this time, and I got to see the Yankees play my Padres. Oh yeah, got to see my Padres. However, we lost. Unfortunately, it was a good time though. Had a blast. Seats weren't my kind of seats, my level of seats, but it was whatever. We had a good time. So spent a week in New York. Came back for a week or so, then went back out to sea again, and then in June or July-ish, went to the Bahamas. So I was in the Bahamas for the Bahamian Independence Day. We were there, and first time in the Bahamas, went to Nassau, and man, was it muggy and very underwhelming, to be honest. Like, so you hear about the Bahamas and you see like Atlantis and you see sandals and you see whatever, and you get there and it's like, okay, boom, you pull up to whatever that area was. It wasn't Bahia Mar. That's where the casino was. But you pull up to this spot, and it's just where all the cruise ships are. It's like 5 of them, 6 of them, huge ships. So you're looking down. It's like, damn, okay, it's live, cool. We pulled in on a weekday. I forgot what day it was, and I was like, all right, it's pretty live. You know what I mean? During the day, and then come nighttime, and it's dead. Especially during the week, it's dead. Like there's nothing to do. So it's like, what in the world? I stayed at a nice resort, nice spot. Shout out to the Goldwyn. That place was nice as a mug. And I asked the lady at the front desk, I'm like, what is there to do around here? And she's like, oh, during the week, nothing really. Like people just kind of work, and then we just chill out. But the weekends, that's when like there's things to do. So check out woo, check out woo, woo. So I was like, all right, cool. How about we pull it out on a Saturday morning? No, we pulled out on a Friday morning. I was just like, you know what you were doing, Captain. But had a good time in the Bahamas. It was very chill. Check it off. Good little way to check the box. But I'm gonna definitely go back and see what it's like during the weekend. Maybe go around the same time, the Bahamian Independence time frame. So went to the Bahamas, and then what happened? So that was June-ish, like end of June, beginning of July, and then came home and been home for about a month or so, and then I came back to my original place of work, my original command in like mid-September. So, but a lot of stuff going on, a lot of personal stuff too that I'm not gonna speak about on here. But it's been a topsy-turvy year for me. A lot of it on the negative side, some good, but a lot of it on the negative side. But we're here now, and everything is kosher and GTG. Then that means good to go for those of you who don't know what that means. So just been a crazy year this year. Not really one of the best years, but you have to have you're gonna have those years where it's like, damn, this year sucks. I'm ready for the year to go. The year went by fast as fuck though, on some real shit. I remember it being New Year's Day or New Year's Eve or whatever, and here we are. Like, it's crazy. I started the year off all crazy, with a passing of my grandmother, and then recovering from my appendix surgery that I almost died from. So it's been a crazy year, man. Oh, what else happened, man? Yeah. Oh, it's been a crazy year. It's been what, 1, 2, 3, 3 car accidents. I was in 2 of them. My wife was in another one. Was in one a little while ago. Had to buy a new vehicle. Crazy stuff. But it's all good, man. Holidays are coming up. Looking forward to the holidays. Oh, yeah, with that being said, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Those in North America who celebrate Thanksgiving, those in America, hope y'all ate what y'all ate. I hope y'all ate a lot of whatever it is that y'all had, and I hope it was delicious. I had a great Thanksgiving. It was nice and chill. I deep fried a turkey breast. My wife had oxtails. She made oxtails, greens, macaroni and cheese. We had a ham and croissants. And what else did we have? Girls baked a bunch of cookies. We had a lot of stuff going on. But I deep fried a turkey breast. I lathered that mug up. I injected it. And it sat in the fridge for like a day. So when it came time to deep fry that mug, oh yeah, it was good. Good. That thing was delicious. That skin on that thing was so crispy. I think that had to be the best. I told my wife, this is the best turkey breast I've ever done so far. And I was just, that skin was freaking good. My goodness. It was crispy and salty and delicious. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was good. And when it comes to Thanksgiving food, the day of, crushing it, of course. The day after, I'm going to eat some of it. I think the day after I ate, breakfast. I ate throughout the day. But for dinner the next day, we had Burger King or some shit. Yeah, we had Burger King. Wasn't having it. Third day, not touching it. I think, actually, I'm lying. I think I touched some pieces of remnants of turkey breast skin that was left. But after that, that was it. I'm not the one to eat on it all weekend. No thanks. Not doing it. So I've since been over it. I'm not the one to... But the pies, though, my wife she made 4 sweet potato pies. She makes them from scratch. The best pies she made thus far were this year. Good. And so my wife she'll eat on it, a slice here or there. My daughters won't eat it. So that means I had pies to myself. We gave 2 away to our neighbors across the street. So I had 2 pies. Crushed both them joints. Wait a minute. I still have half a pie left. Just thought about that shit. And I'm eating that shit. So when it comes to like the food that I'm not touching 3 days afterwards, that's the food. Come on now. Now, sweet potato pie, I got a half a pie left. I'm about to eat that shit. That shit was so good. Man, so fucking good. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. My shit was great. Good times. A lot of drinking and eating. A lot of being thirsty. So now we back into our normal routine. So getting back into the gym, gotta do it. Tried to today, couldn't do it. It is what it is. Gonna do it tomorrow because we're gonna start off with leg day and we'll see how it goes from there. But hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. I did. Yeah, I did, man. It was very good, very good. What else? What we got going on? Let's see. I was at the dealership today getting some maintenance done on the vehicle. You know, you get them European vehicles, heavy duty. So no dipsticks. You can't fucking check oils and shit. You just get a notification in your motherfucking, what's it called? It's like, oh, service is required. So you got to go and get that shit done. I was in that bitch for a good little minute, bored. And I saw, so I was at, okay, so I have a BMW. So I was at BMW today. And, you know, when I go to the dealerships, I like to look around, see what these new vehicles are looking like. There was 2 vehicles in particular. There was an X7. So I have an X5. The X7's a bigger version, you know, family shit. There was one that was like a matte silver, beautiful. Had like the carrying case on the top, BMW one, beautiful. But there was this black one next to it. I didn't even know what it was. I was like, what is that? That shit was black, like a glossy black, nice as fuck, black rims. The BMW word letters in the middle of the center caps were just like some hard ass font. I was like, what is this? An X what? That shit was an XM. So you have the X3, X5, X6, X7. This shit was an XM. That was it. That shit was so fucking mean. I forgot. I should have took a picture of it. I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, I looked in the side of freaking red guts, black on black everything. That shit was so nasty. I looked at that shit and was like, man, I got to reevaluate my life goals. But that shit was nice. But I was at the dealership all day today. So I don't know why I brought that up. I just did. But while I was sitting there, so I'm at the dealership and I see all these nice, new fucking BMWs. I was like, okay, boom, this lounge is about to be nice. Dude's like, yeah, if you go right there, ice cold water right here behind that wall is the lounge. I'm like, cool. First time coming to this dealership, whatever. Let's go chill. So I didn't get no water, bypassed the water, went around the wall. And I was like, this ain't no fucking lounge. The hell is this? This is a table with some chairs with a TV on this wall. Like, this is some bullshit. Come on, BMW. What are we doing? But anyways, they had TMZ on. They had some judge show on, which that judge show was ridiculous, which every judge show is ridiculous. But that one was even more so ridiculous. And I was like, daytime TV. My God. But anyway, fucking one of the things I saw in there was, I saw that. So T.I. was at the Falcons game, with the Falcons Saints game on Sunday. And I guess they were in the box. He was in the box with his fam. He was with his wife, who was so ugly. Sorry, man. She is. God damn, Tiny is ugly. And then she's doing shit to her face. Like, she just looked bloated. Like, she looked swollen. Ugh. Gross. But anyway, he was in there with his family. And then him and his son, King, got into it about being a Nepo baby. And I was just like, the fuck does Nepo baby mean? I'm old school. I don't know these new terminologies. Nowadays, there's a term for everything. There's a classification for every person. So I seen this shit called a Nepo baby. So him, T.I., his son King, and T.I. were getting into it. I guess King was talking about being a Nepo baby and how he doesn't like being classified as a Nepo baby. What is a Nepo baby, you ask? So a Nepo baby is this. Let me pull up the exact definition so that you know what I'm talking about. Because I had no clue what the fuck a Nepo baby is. So in layman's terms, right? I'm going to pull up the exact definition for you right now. Come on, man. Come on. All right, a Nepo baby, short for nepotism baby, is a term referring to the children of celebrities who have succeeded in careers similar to those of their parents. The implication is that because their parents already had connections to an industry, the child was able to use those connections to build a career in that industry. That's what a Nepo baby is. So basically, a celebrity's kid comes up in said industry similar to whatever their celebrity parent is, and they've made it already because the parents, etc., etc. So T.I. and his son King, I guess they were arguing about it. And there's footage. They were arguing in the box about it. Lil homie was like, I'm trying to shed this image. Like, why you got me living behind gates and shit? I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to be out there in the streets, da da da. First off, you sound stupid. That sounds dumb, fool. Like that. Oh, why you got me living behind these gates and living this good life, being well taken care of and shit? I'm trying to be out there, fool. You know nothing about the struggle, homeboy. So you wanting to be out there, your ass was gonna get folded up, hemmed up, done up real quick. Like, shut the fuck up with your fucking privileged ass. One. It's like, come on. So, anyways, he's coming at his pops T.I. about, oh, why you got me living like this? Woo, I'm trying to be outside, whatever. Woo. So you can't really hear what T.I. is talking about, but they going back and forth and shit. Then them fools started to get physical. Tiny got her bloated face, ugly ass on there, talking some shit about something. And then all you see is like the camera. And then fools, I guess, got into a little scuffle about the shit. I'm just like, the audacity of you. Motherfuckers, parents who came up with the struggle, through a struggle, know what it's like to struggle, come up, have a kid or kids, and they don't want their kids going through that shit. So that's why they do what they do, so that their kids can have a better life than they did. Now this motherfucker talking about why you guys living like this, da da da. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up, stupid ass motherfucker. Shut your ass up, man. What are you talking about? So then they follow up that shit. I saw it on the media zoo, and they talked about that, and then they go into Blue Ivy, and everyone knows who Blue Ivy is. That's fucking Beyonce and Jay-Z's fucking kid. So Blue Ivy, I guess, was supposed to be at one of Beyonce's shows during the Renaissance tour, and ended up being at multiple, dancing on stage and shit next to her moms or whatever. Cool. It is what it is. I guess, of course, motherfucking woke motherfuckers or whatever they are nowadays gotta say some shit, and they calling her out. They calling Blue Ivy out, talking that Nepo baby shit. Woo woo. You know what I mean? Blue Ivy ain't paying no mind. It is what it is. Whatever. My thing is, so the fuck what? So what? Vice, what she did, what she's doing differs from King. King is talking about, oh, why complaining, why you got me behind here living like this, da da da. Blue Ivy's just out there dancing, whatever, with her moms or whatever, while these people are just like, yo, oh yeah, this Nepo baby, da 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 da. So what? Like, yeah, her mom is Beyonce, her dad's Jay-Z. Oh fucking well, you know what I mean? She gets to dance on stage next to Beyonce. Motherfuckers were talking about she didn't deserve or hasn't earned the right to be up there dancing next to her mom. Like, shut up. Everybody out there with some shit to say like that is like, shut the fuck up, man. One, she does because that's her mom. You know what I mean? Just because you a member of the Beehive and you jelly that she's up there next to her, to Beyonce, that's the issue. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? You know, Blue Ivy ain't paying no mind. So, you know what I mean? Salute to her. Cheers to her for that. But it's like, y'all motherfuckers are stupid. Y'all quick to label somebody or give them motherfuckers a label off some petty ass shit that y'all low key hating. Not even low key. Y'all just hating that y'all aren't the ones who are able to do the shit. Like, it's not like she out here trying to sing and shit, trying to be the next Beyonce. And if she is, oh fucking well. Right now she's just dancing. She's literally doing choreography. What? Shut the fuck up. Y'all some hating ass motherfuckers out there. But yeah, learn that term today. The nepotism. Or not the nepotism, Nepo baby shit. I learned that shit today. That shit was crazy. Then hearing about fucking Diddy. That shit is crazy. The allegations that Cassie put on him, saying it was just like sexual abuse, rape, physical abuse, all that stuff. So she came out with that. And then for this fool to settle real quick, it's like, Now, you know, settling isn't no admission of guilt or whatever. But it's just, I don't know. To me, it's kind of sketch. It's like she comes out with the allegations or whatever. Then you come back and you're like, oh, it's a money grab. It's a money grab. Okay. And then here you go right after that and you settle. What you settling for if it's just a money grab and you denying everything? Come on, man. I fuck with Diddy tough. That's my dude. You know what I mean? I fuck with him. You know what I mean? Businessman, mogul type shit. I fuck with him. But you know, some of the shit that you're hearing is kind of skeptical, man. You know what I mean? Like I read an in-depth article about what was going on with that whole Cassie thing. Like one, Cassie was bad. Couldn't sing worth shit. Me and You, the hardest thing about Me and You is the beat. That girl cannot sing. She look good, but she cannot sing, man. But then like the in-depth, I read like the allegations and shit, the shit she was saying was nuts. Was nuts, man. Just crazy shit. And then now all these other females are starting to come out and coming at Diddy on some with some allegations and shit, like his former chef coming out with some allegations, and I read that. That's crazy. And then this lady, another lady, saying that her or that Diddy and um old school Aaron Hall, she's an R&B singer from the 90s, like 90s, early 90s, raped her in like 1991. So it's just like, Then reading that he settled out of court on a couple of other cases, it's kind of like, what you doing, man? What you doing? Diddy out here doing some boss shit too. So like with the whole thing with him and Cassie. So him and Cassie, I guess they got together in like '09 or some shit like that, and then they fell out in like 2012. She started seeing Cuddy. Why they saying that fool Diddy blew up Cuddy's car in his driveway? Because he's fucking with Cassie. Some boss shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't condone any of this, but it's like, damn, fool. That shit is crazy. And then some of the shit she was saying, like, it was just nuts, man. If you want to read what she said, because I don't want to put it out on here, you can find all that shit on Vulture. So I'll post a link in the show notes. Go to vulture.com/article. What is it? Let me see. It says, yeah, vulture.com/article/Cassie Diddy lawsuit. And it goes in depth talking about what her lawsuit contains and everything. Cassie is just, she's a bad thing, man. She was 19 when she first came onto the scene, and Diddy was like 30 something. Yeah, but it's pretty crazy, man. Some of that shit, and then you're starting to hear a lot of shit too about my man Diddy, like with the parties and like the homosexual type deals or whatever. And in this article, there's something that's mentioned in there similar to that too. So it's like, And I was getting tatted a few weeks ago by my homegirl. Shout out D. She was giving me she was tabbing me up, and we were just talking about. I had brought that up. I was like, man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Them stories that you hear about, like dudes who you wouldn't think do like some homosexual stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you're gonna do that, you're gonna be bi. Just be open, be bi. You know what I mean? Whatever. Don't put up this facade like you not. Whatever. But and we were talking about it, and she was like, "Yo, I got a homie in the industry, and everything that we hear in regards to like secret sexual parties and secret like homosexual parties or whatever, all that shit is true." I was like, "What?" And D was like, "Yeah." And then she said her connect or whatever was at the party. Like homie was like an engineer or something. He's an engineer, so he's in there. He's been to them parties or whatever, and then he walks in. It's like, what the fuck? Turns around type shit. So then yeah, she said one time, homie walked into some kind of party or whatever, and fools, I'm making all kinds of sounds and shit. Fucking, they made that fool sign an NDA. Like, nah, you ain't speaking about none of this, Holmes, type shit. So, I'm not saying it's true, but when you starting to hear some shit, multiple different stories, I know, just like, not even with celebrities, but with people in general, when the trail starts to pick up, you know what I mean? You start believing shit. It's like, this can't be a coincidence. You know what I mean? So, like I said, Diddy was my man. You know what I mean? I fucked with him. You know what I mean? Mogul, started from the bottom, came up, and is just a mogul. But then reading that article and hearing all this other shit, it's like, damn, man. Not Diddy. Not Puff Daddy. Damn. So, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy shit, man. There's crazy stuff that goes on in this world, man. People do crazy things, you know? And just like the stuff that's going on right now, we're about to be in World War III, starting in the spring. Check it out. Stand by for it. Hopefully not. I'm in the military, so I don't know, but I'm thinking it's coming. So all that stuff overseas with the Palestinians and Hamas and stuff is crazy, man. That shit is crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just you got people protesting here, and you know they're doing their little stands and their walks and their protests. I just hope they know what they're protesting and they're doing, because like at first they kept talking about, oh yeah, this is going on. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, what is this? What are y'all talking about? Like, what is this? So you have to do your research and really know what you're fighting for and know what you're standing up for. So if you out there and you're protesting and you're for the Palestinians and whatever's going on overseas, make sure you actually have no bullshit, a good idea, an understanding of what is actually going on before you go out there and you do what you do here to make a point. I mean, but that's all I'm gonna say about that shit. On a brighter and lighter note, it was rivalry weekend for college football. I know a lot of people don't watch college football. I'm not really huge into college football, but rivalry weekend is always legit. And I'm not even going to talk about football, because for those of you watching, y'all see I'm wearing my Chargers hoodie. For those of you listening, I'm wearing my Chargers hoodie. And I don't know what we got going on, but what the rumors are in regards to our coaching future, hopefully it works out and it's for the better. But college football, man, good games. That Alabama motherfucking Auburn game was crazy ending. I watched that game. Nuts. I watched the second half of that game. Me and my wife. My wife don't even like college football, and we watched that shit. That shit was nuts. That fucking ending was crazy. But that Michigan Ohio State one, I didn't get to watch that because we were at a regional high school football championship game. My daughter's high school was in the championship game, and they played the school that beat the school, one of our rival schools, 104-0. Yeah, the team that scored 104, we played them. And yeah, the outcome wasn't good for us, but it could have been better. But them dudes went out there, and you can tell they were playing kind of shook. They were kind of intimidated. But we started off doing well and doing our thing, but I think the hype got to them, and we ended up losing 41-7, which 41-7 is like, damn. Yeah, you hear that, you're like, damn. But the school we played, this number one school, their defense averages points allowed 0.9 or 1.2 points. Yeah, 2 points. They have allowed 2 points. They average, their defense averages 2 points a game allowed. Whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. And we scored 7 on them. What's up? It could have been more. The coaching schemes were stupid. But anyways, I'm fucking ranting. I'm going off course. But Michigan Ohio State, that game, right? I don't know if you've ever seen like the highlights or the clips of the Ohio State band, because I ain't even talking about the game. I mean, Michigan won the game, whatever. I'm talking about the halftime show with the band. That shit is so fucking hard. The shit that they do. If you haven't seen it, Google it. But I'm gonna make a clip out of this, and I'm gonna have it down here. But this the Ohio State band. Shout out to the Ohio State band for the shit they do every year, because that aerial view and what they do is fucking crazy. crazy what they do. Scissors cutting up the Michigan thing, Donkey Kong smashing the Michigan thing, battleships, and the Michigan battleship shooting Ohio State one, or no, Ohio State one shooting the Michigan one. Like, that shit is crazy, man. That a band is doing that. Like, you know how meticulous you have to be in order to nail that choreography and then have the aerial view, and everyone has to be pinpoint spot on to accomplish that shit. That shit is hard as fuck. If you haven't seen it, Google it. That shit is hard. Ohio State band, Michigan, whatever. That shit's hard. But that being said, we wrapping that shit up right here. Episode 51, the YeahDat podcast. I told you all we back. We about to have guests come back too. You know what I mean? We're gonna have co-hosts and I'm gonna have guests. So there's this now that we back, we're gonna differentiate the two. I'm gonna have guests where the guests are gonna be the ones, you know, spitting knowledge and giving you knowledge and educating y'all on whatever it is their expertise is, whether it's a career field or if it's a genre or if it's whatever. That's gonna be my guest. Then my co-hosts are just gonna be people, past guests or whatever. You know what I mean? Just kicking it with me, chopping it up, catching up, talking about whatever we want to talk about. And those are gonna be my co-hosts on co-host episodes. Like my daughters were my co-hosts, episode 50. So stay tuned to episodes of the podcast. Holidays are coming up. You know what I mean? Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa. So with that being said, we're going to be doing some traveling. I'm still going to do some podcasts. So it's all good. It's all good. But like always, make sure you follow the podcast. Make sure you like on whatever podcast platform, whether it's Spotify or Apple. Make sure you subscribe to whatever platform you're on. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you stay up to date with every episode and you are up to date with the drops and all that. Follow on social media on Instagram at YeahDat Podcast. Follow on TikTok, the YeahDat Podcast or YeahDat Podcast. And, you know, just stay up to date, man. Make sure you rate, like I said, make sure you rate the podcast on whatever platform, comment, and it helps out the podcast because it helps out the podcast, excuse me. So make sure you do your due diligence in helping the homie out. Support your friends over the celebrities who don't know you. Remember that. Keep it authentic. You know what I mean? Keep it OG. You know what I'm saying? That means keep it original. Be you. You know what I mean? Be you. But appreciate y'all as always. And then here, till the next episode, it's the homie West Coast Rob signing off. YeahDat.